Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of the Sauce. Continuing on with college football week 5. Got a good one here. Notre Dame on the road at Duke. This line's at Duke plus 5.5. It's actually down from 6.5. Total sitting at 52. Let's roll.
Welcome to the Sauce. The Sauce. Sauce. Hey, get the sauce.
So the action's kind of all over the place in this one. Like I said, line was at 6.5 earlier in the week, and Sharps came and hammered Duke at that number. Now it's down to 5.5, and it looks like both the tickets and the handle seem to be tilting towards Notre Dame at this number. So let's talk about Notre Dame first, and that offense looks solid as hell. They're ranked 19th overall offensively, 34th in effective pass, 24th in effective rush. And despite what the scoreboard said last week, the Notre Dame offense was pretty good. I mean, a lot of people are just going to look at the box score and see 14 points, 351 yards of offense and assume that the Notre Dame offense wasn't good, but that was a really slow-paced game. There was not a lot of plays run there. Notre Dame averaged 7.0 yards per pass attempt and 4.5 yards per carry. I mean, that's pretty efficient. If you're thinking the offense wasn't moving the ball, that's not the case. They went for it on fourth down, deep in Ohio State territory twice, didn't get it. They missed a field goal. Notre Dame only punted twice in the game. I'm not saying the Notre Dame offense was electric, but it was moving the ball. So you're probably thinking, well, okay, if Notre Dame's offense was moving the ball in the Ohio State defense, they could certainly move the ball in the Duke defense, right? Well, let's pump the brakes for a second because Duke's got a top 25 ranked defense this year. I don't know where it came from, but it's here. We knew the Duke offense was going to be good. It was good last year with Riley Leonard at quarterback, but the defense was suspect. They're off to a great start this year. They're ranked 24th overall defensively, 29th in effective rush, 20th in effective pass. The Duke Blue Devils are allowing just 8.75 points per game this year. They've only allowed an opponent to hit double digits once. Duke's defense is putting up Georgia Bulldog numbers. Now, Clemson was able to run the ball all over Duke in week 1, 40 carries for 213 yards on 5.3 yards per carry. So we can't pretend like Duke's defense shut Clemson down. That wasn't the case. That's not how that game went down. Clemson just kept fumbling the ball in the red zone. Duke deserved that win. I'm not trying to take any credit away from Duke here. I'm just saying that 28-7 final score is a little bit deceiving. One thing Duke's defense did do was remove the pass. Cade Klubnik couldn't do anything through the air in that game. 209 yards passing on 43 attempts. 43 pass attempts, just 209 yards. That's just 4.9 yards per attempt. Truly terrible. A 106.6 passer rating. This was by far Cade Klubnik's worst game of the season. Here's why I'm a little hesitant to blindly back this Duke defense, because it looks good, but the truth is, since the Clemson game in week 1, this Duke defense really hasn't been tested at all. Blowing out Northwestern and holding them to 14 points is definitely solid, but Notre Dame's going to be by far the best offense Duke has seen yet. Like I said, we saw Clemson come into Durham and run the ball all over Duke. We saw Notre Dame go on the road in NC State and have no problems establishing the run in that game. Now, to be fair, NC State's run defense is not the same this year. It was elite last year, not the case this year. Also, that game was delayed like 3 hours due to lightning. The field was soaked. I don't know. It was just a weird game. But still, 170 yards rushing on 4.6 yards per carry on the road at North Carolina State is still worth noting. As much as I'd love to sit here and tell you Duke's defense can hold this Notre Dame run game down, I just don't think that's realistic. Now, not one quarterback has had a successful day against Duke. They've been great against the pass, and Sam Hartman's been pretty conservative, so I can see the Irish pass game not doing a ton, a lot of underneath throws, a lot of checkdowns, but combine that with the run game, Notre Dame should be moving the ball in this one. Now, on the other side of the ball, here's where I start to have some questions about Notre Dame. Now, obviously, if you glance at the numbers, like we were just talking about, 366 total yards, 17 points to Ohio State, that looks like a great defensive performance. But again, that game was so slow-paced. And also, I kind of question how good Ohio State's offense even is this year, because Indiana held Ohio State's offense to basically the same numbers. I don't know if Kyle McCord is the guy out there. We saw Brennan Armstrong and this North Carolina State team move the ball a bit on that Notre Dame defense, and that offense, the NC State offense, looks terrible. They scored 24 points, 344 total yards. It wasn't a great day, but they were moving it a bit. NC State had almost the exact same offensive performance against Virginia, one of the worst defenses in the FBS. They were allowing 42 points a game entering that North Carolina State game. And North Carolina State put up the same offensive performance against Virginia than they did Notre Dame. I don't think I trust this Notre Dame defense, and I think it's extremely overvalued right now because after last week, everyone's just looking at the box score. They're seeing 17-14. They're like, wow, held Ohio State to 17 points. Notre Dame's defense did great without digging any deeper. And they're going to have their hands full in this road game because, in case you haven't heard, Duke's offense is electric. This is the 20th ranked offense in the entire FBS, 16th in effective rush, 53rd in effective pass. Remember how Duke's defense is only allowing 8.75 points per game? Well, the offense is averaging 37.25 points per game. Yeah, and Notre Dame's defense has not seen a true dual threat quarterback yet. The closest they've seen to one is Brennan Armstrong, who is capable of running the ball a bit, but he's not Riley Leonard. Riley Leonard's one of the best rushing quarterbacks in the entire country. Riley Leonard is 10th in the FBS in estimated points added per carry, and a lot of the quarterbacks on that list, in that top 10 list, are quarterbacks that can only run the ball. Riley Leonard's a threat throwing the ball as well. The only names in that top 10 list that also have efficient passing numbers: Drake May, Garrett Schrader, Jackson Dart, Chandler Morris. So Riley Leonard's in good company up there. We saw him use his legs in the Clemson game. I mean, he slipped out of that sack, then ran for like a 45, 50-yard touchdown, put Duke in a great spot to win the game. And it wasn't just that play. I mean, he was using his legs to pick up big first downs throughout that whole game. So I think Duke's offense is going to move the ball in this Notre Dame defense right back. So I like both offenses in this game, and you would think that means I'm probably betting the over, but I can't. Want to know why I can't take the over in this game? Because these two teams are 115th and 116th in the FBS in plays per game. Both run an extremely slow-paced offense, which kills overs. So I'm going to take the points with Duke. Now, I missed the 6.5, so I'm going to wait it out. I'm hoping to get 6 or 6.5 closer to kickoff. Probably unlikely. The way I see it, 5's not a key number. Worst case scenario, I get stuck with Duke plus 5 by waiting. I'll take it. Best case scenario, I get that Duke plus 6.5 close to kickoff. I'll let you know Saturday morning on the live show at 10:30 a.m. what I end up doing, but I am on Duke here. If you want my top bets, parlays of the day, if you want to join the Discord, or if you want to get in on the NFL Against the Spread competition, head over to KyleKirms.com. All that information is right there on the homepage. College football week 5, not quite as loaded of a slate this week as we had last week, but there's still a lot of betting value here. Remember to bet responsibly, and I'll talk to you in the Discord.